So when I was in school, I was an advanced student. I had lots of advanced classes and was real smart. And got an opportunity to go to Moscow and shit. I was like, you're a smarty student. I got into the University of New Mexico with New Mexico residency status, and even though I was from Colorado, my grades were so good that well, you only have to pay as a resident, which made going to the University of New Mexico very inexpensive. And they have like Sandia Labs, Alamogordo, and Los Alamos labs there, so they have very advanced science. Nuclear science, they test nuclear bombs out there. My family's from Durango. I've lived in Durango. The nuclear material, the uranium comes from there. I was even aware that Rocky Flats was making or may have been making radioactive ammunition, radioactive bullets, and that those were what they used in Fallujah. So that we were able to provide materials for war crimes because we live in an evil empire, and that's the kind of decrepit, morally decrepit villain shit we do. So if people are just killing us all over the place and trying to destroy us, that's one of the reasons why. But hey, amongst ourselves. So I wake up in the morning and I'm tired of being alone. I haven't had a girlfriend in a long time. The last girl that saw me, she'd just come and go every once in a while, and then she disappeared. Um, so here in Colorado and among other places, there's been a spike in domestic homicide. The guys kill their wives and children a lot here, like 20% spike. So the men kill their women and children, their own women and children here. Um, yeah, so that's really like the most cowardly, weak kind of shit we've ever seen. And look, if you guys are gonna sex traffic the girls to guys that are going to beat them and kill them. Um, that's like the most evil shit we've ever seen. And I'm like saying, you guys all together living in America, the shit here is worse than what the Nazis in Germany were doing for a few different reasons. The millions of people that have died for the energy it took to waste and destroy ourselves and everyone else is gone. And they're killing people for gas to run their war machine so they can kill and rape more people, so they can take their things and fuck their bitch, because that's what American guys do. They rape, they murder, they rape and murder their own. When they find out it's harder to do to other people, they stay home and fucking do it to their own, because they're monsters like that. So your dudes are garbage, and the women are like meat puppet sex slaves on your fucking retard sex slave, satanic, demonic, lizard cyborg hive mind plantation where you guys fucked up so bad. Now, like, it's not that bad on me because I'm not a woman or a child. And you guys already tried to rape and murder my family enough times to where it's destroyed, so it's not really my problem anymore. And really, dude, you can't defend yourself with an army of brainwashed drug addict whores, dude. There's plenty of different ammunition that will go through the whores and into you and kill you dudes anyway. And using the women the way you do is some of the most cowardly, ridiculous, evil shit I've ever heard of in all of my centuries in all the centuries of history. It's like, you guys are so shitty. Like, it's going to be nukes. So I knew a while ago it was going to be nukes. And there was a reason to think that maybe you'd be able to avoid it because you guys wouldn't be so fucking evil and retarded. But you were. You were extraordinarily wicked. Your violence was vivid, outstanding, and the rest of the world is horrified at how fucking terrible you are. Yeah, it is that I was good for women. I supported women, and my ex-wife was doing so well when we were together. She had all the support and had the fancy job and everything, and then you know she decided that she wanted to move her boyfriend in and say he was a roommate and he had a gun, and she was going to be fucking both of us and trying to get us to kill each other because she's a psycho, and both of her other husbands are either in prison or jail because of her. She's in with the Russians and the spies and the CIA and shit. Her dad was a spy. She worked for the former FBI agent. She was hardcore. And when she didn't do what they want, they fucking hurt her. They fucking hurt her in the worst way. If she didn't have a place to stay, the house we bought her. I bought her. I mean, she paid some too, but it was all kinds of money that I had to put down to even get it into that house, and tons of money I put into it and time. If she didn't have that house, she'd be on the street with all those other women that you guys beat and rape and prostitute on the street because you guys are fucking monsters. And just think people do good things for you too. It reminds me of Nazi Germany before the B2s leveled it to the floor. And there's lots of backslapping and how wonderful everything is. And they cook each other strudel and schnitzel. And I'm just telling you, if you're good, you're good to Americans. You're good to Americans, but they're not really Americans. You cook them a meal and they're strong and ready to go rape and murder people and steal their shit. So you fix their wounds and they get back up and fight against justice and lawfulness. You do good things for them and they turn around and use that to hurt a lot of other people. Not just like, oh, you help them and they happen to hurt a few people and then it's terrible or whatever, but they literally rely on the good things that you do for them to kill people and be the evil empire that they are. That's how they run. So, Yankee Cowboy, if you think you're good, dude, you're wrong. If you think you're good because you do good things for the other Americans, you're wrong. That's not how things are panning out, is it? Last but not least, I warn you about these things before they happen. Not because I think you're going to stop being the evil villains at large and all of a sudden that's not your role to play in your purpose here on Earth. But it's a psych. It's in your head. You had a chance to fix it. You had a chance to do things right because I warned you first, over and over again, about all types of things. Nuclear weapons. I even warned you about the euro dollar. I even warned you Putin uses and drug cartels use drugs and prostitutes to manipulate people. You see Bill Gates got the Russian whore disease? Ha! He thought he was the smart one. I'm still screening negative. Yeah, Putin and his are at least as dirty as your CIA and security agencies, so they like torture the genitals and put people in prison that are innocent and do extraordinary rendition and waterboarding and lie about everything to everybody so they can get away with whatever their little petty personal schemes are. It's just that the Americans paid way more people for doing that. So there's just like a ton of them. And then the CIA guy will turn around and tell you, he's like, oh, here's my secret CIA brainwash for getting sex from women. And blah, blah, blah. I guess he goes on and explains how you can trick a woman into having sex with you. And that's how you could have fun this weekend. And I guess, fooling a woman into have sex with you is easier than pinning her because she might like poke you in the eyes or kick you in the nuts or something. They do it to men too. It's just people don't pay attention as much because men are fucking ashamed and don't like that shit. In America, men regularly use rape and sexual intimidation on other men all the time. It's not like a weird special like case of rape or sexual harassment or intimidation. It's just that men speak about it less. The prisons are awful. I had a boss that was gay that would sexually harass me. Fucking play me. Dude sexually harass me all the time, man. They do at work. I mean, anybody at work can attest to that shit. Wants to know, dude at work wants to know if I've ever heard of a bidet. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's that toilet, backwards toilet that like scratch your head. He's all, no, it's a Vietnamese lady boy. I'm like, what? Like, why would I give a fuck about Vietnamese ladyboys? He's all like, some sex insinuations at work from these ugly fucking retard dudes in Pueblo that are basically just Anasazi fucking monsters. All right? And this is where they materialize, I promise you. They don't just go away, dude. And there was more of them than they say. You ever had Anasazi beans? If you ever get a chance to pick up a bag of Anasazi pinto beans, they're pretty hardy. And had a lot of fucking beans. The Anasazi had a lot of fucking beans. They had squash. They had a lot of beans. So there was a lot of them. And I know who some of them are around here too. And they're actually just like the Dene said they'd be. And it's their characteristics that make them Anasazi, not necessarily their genetic. So get this. It's like if you were like a Roman and you were born and hung around in, let's say, not a Roman. Let's say you were Italian, right? You're an Italian. You were born into Italy, but before you were raised, they moved you to Switzerland, and you're a blonde Italian guy, but you grew up in Switzerland and were educated in Switzerland. You would think you were Swiss, and if nobody tells you you're Italian, for most and almost all purposes, you think you're Swiss. And my parents didn't tell me that had Jewish ancestors till like I was in my 30s, dude. Like they're like, oh yeah, you had a grandma Spielman. Oh. Another one of those places where like previously the Samaritan and the Jew don't get along. My grandpa and grandma were the Samaritan and the Jew. They did get along, but my gramps was German too. So it wasn't just that they were with the Samaritans and the Good Samaritans, as they were also German. I tell you what my plan is to do about the massive disaster that's coming down the pipes at us, probably bombs, maybe nuclear weapons, because as I walk back and forth across the country and among the many people, I realize that much like the descriptions of Nazi Germany before they were bombed, the society is disintegrating, degenerating, and breaking down. People fell the fuck off here, and it's been a while since that happened. And it's not a generational thing. Like, I get it. The Zoomers, dude, and the millennials and shit, they like do it. And like they developed a lot of the software for it. But everybody falls for it. There's boomers, there's X, everybody's under the fucking net, dude. And people would come out and say, the net's over us, they're trying to control us, they're trying to watch us. And people were like, meh, so what? That's just your rights. We didn't give a fuck about your rights or other people's rights, so now you have no rights yourself. It's just like they said. It's like, first they come for the weak one, the one that's alone, which I get right down to business with it and usually put myself in that position, but I'm old now and I don't know how much longer I could do it. So I'm about 50 now and literally like putting myself between the fucking villains and the bullies and the minorities, mostly women and children that I've had to try and save, because that's how I was taught to do it. But it's always handy to have a woman around because they might have sex with me. You never know. Sometimes it's a surprise which of them all of a sudden, right? Lots of girls, lots of girlfriends. But only in the last 5 or 10 years have they really been like, it's been really evident that the girls that cared about me or the girls that I cared about were targets too. And that my enemies have hurt the people I love. They took hostages. Coming to terms with all these things when we passed the point of no return was hard for me. It broke me. But I'm past it. I got past it. It's 2016, 2017. Oh, things are so bad it could turn into a huge war that kills billions of people. Like 2000, by the end of 2017, like for sure, like I knew for sure, like 2016, 2017, I sure it was right at the edge. And by 2018, I don't know what it was, but I could tell that whatever it was that had happened had done it. And it shifted things over the things had finally gone over the falls, and we were headed towards a serious military confrontation. People try to talk it down and say that it's not important, but but the lines that were drawn at the end of World War II are what are soft here and where the action is. So it is like World War III. People say it's not like World War III. Who cares, right? Because they're spreading propaganda. They're not letting you think about it. They're trying to change your perspective on, or at least soften what you understand enough so that they can take advantage of the ambiguity and continue to enact their campaign, which they believe will have its rewards. There's a cold gravy train involved, but you'll know for sure that they're broke and that they have to shut down and can't pay the bills and lie, cheat, and stole for a bunch for all they had, so none of their shit matches up or their lines get crossed all over the place. And it's not Republicans or Democrats, it's Americans. And like, really, you don't know whether it's the Chinese and the Russians that divide you and conquer you, or whether you do it to yourselves. Now, the things you've done, eventually life's going to be miserable in a lot of parts of the United States. It's going to be really hard on the women and children because that's who suffers the most when the food is scarce and the water is scarce. So all the people that were in on it leading up to it that were women, I'm like, you guys have to, like, there's nothing I can do for you. You know, like, it's not like it's you and your men. It's not like you get to run away from them and um, join another country or group or something. It's not the same. It's you're all in on this together. All the people that were succinctly and purposefully divided now are stuck together. And like, those men are yours. They're from you. They belong to you. American woman. And the way they act and the things that they do are almost entirely based on their relationship with you and vice versa. And it's an absolute wash. Like, I want to laugh about it, right? A little bit. Ha ha ha, you guys can't keep your shit together. I never thought it was possible for me because I had spies and like the women that would, some of the women that would sleep with me because they were operatives and spies and in on it with the CIA and the FBI, not because they really cared about me. Like, sometimes, at first I didn't get it, I didn't understand, but you know what? Eventually I got it. And I had to think, and I thought about it, and I realized that's, okay, a few of those girls, they were ringers. So, and it's deeper than just the frat boys sending their clubhouse whore over to bag one of the fucking freshman nerds that knows how to fucking wire nuclear colliders or whatever. Because they do that. And so like, oh, well, we'll have that dude. He thinks he's smart, but we'll have him buy his dick. We'll get him. And they do that shit. And that's how they rush, one of the ways they rush. And if they can't get it seducing them, they'll get it blackmailing them because, like I said, they have whores. They do pimp. Pimping is their culture. Pimping's what they do. They use women like things. They use them as weapons and bait and things like that. But apparently I'm chivalrous, and this is actually completely fucking wrong and dangerous. And the reason why is not just because it's bad for women or whatever. It's like it doesn't work, and it just puts the women in danger. And when you guys started doing that, I knew I was going to have to stop you from doing some things. But as I got into it, I realized, like, it's just going to be a big fat fucking war. Like, I say like too much. And I've said this in other videos before, and I'm not going to go back through all my videos on YouTube to see which one I said before. Oh, we're headed for a war. This one I'm going to leave up for a while. Like, I took a lot of my videos, I made them private, so that way other people couldn't use my videos without my permission. So, without asking me first. So, and look, I'm not doing your research for you. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Have a nice day.